Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. The coverage for the live draw, the last 16 of the Europa League, it's underway in 5 minutes. And Charlie, how you feeling?
I'm excited, man. I'm actually genuinely very excited. I watched the Rangers match last night. I know there was some talk on our video last night. What match you gonna watch? You gonna watch this one, that one? And I know you chose Wolves. But I watched the Rangers match, and it's only served to make me more hyped. Geo, an excellent European tie, full of twists and turns, and now I'm ready for some whatever's to come. I'm here. I'm ready. Let's go.
I can't tell if I'm excited or nervous. It's a combination of both. But I'll tell you what, it's not an enjoyable combination. I've feel like I've been pacing around for the last couple of hours, looking at my watch. It'll be 5 minutes. Go, oh, still ages to go. And the last 20 minutes has gone quite quick, and nerves are building a little bit. Watching the results come in last night, obviously Braga went to penalties, and I won't be going to the away game, but then Braga went to penalties against Sheriff, and I was praying Braga would win so that the boys that are going to the away leg of this can actually get to the game, because obviously we play Sheriff in Moldova. It's unlikely you're going to get to go. So Braga won on pens. That's good news. It's just this is exciting, Charlie. This is exciting.
I know. There's something more about it. Like, obviously we have the cup draws every year for the Europa League, for the FA Cup, for League Cup and that. But there's something about this. So it's the different teams. Do you know what I mean?
It's also because of who they are, Charlie. It's like, everyone likes a good away day. When Kidderminster come out, they get in. That's a ground a lot of people haven't been to. They get to that ground and stuff. It feels like once in a lifetime stuff, this, following West Ham in the knockout stages of European football. Hopefully it's not, but we don't know when it's going to happen again. And then you look at the teams still involved. They're big clubs. These are massive clubs that are known around Europe. You could go to a Greek on the street and show him the last 16 of the Europa League, and he'd be able to point to 10 and say, I know them lot. Yeah, I know all that clubs. This is massive. Right. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to ask people who they fancy in the draw. So we're going to take a little recap. I have got the worst image ever, which is going to chop out mine and Charlie's faces. So arguably it's a good one. So there you go. You've got all 16 teams left in the Europa League. So you've got unseeded teams on one side of your screen, on the other side you've got the seeded. So all the seeded teams are those that won the Europa League group stage. West Ham are obviously in there. We will be drawn against a team in the unseeded section. So we'll be facing either Atlanta, Barcelona, Porto, Real Betis, who Pellegrini is the manager of. We've got Braga, Leipzig, Rangers, and Sevilla. I mean, these are just big teams. A couple of points to make. You cannot be drawn against teams in the same country. So while that doesn't impact West Ham, it does impact the draw. It means that Leipzig cannot draw Frankfurt and Leverkusen. So while we have a 1 in 8 chance of getting any of those teams, Leipzig have got a 1 in 6 chance of getting West Ham. Also, the ties, the away tie is on the 10th of March, with the home tie a week later on the 17th, unless we draw Porto or Real Betis. If West Ham are drawn against Porto or Real Betis, the game will be played on the Wednesday, the 9th of March. The first leg will be moved to the Wednesday because of Sevilla and Braga, and they get priority over Porto and Real Betis. So if we get Porto or Real Betis, it's Wednesday followed by Thursday. So Charlie, with all them and a live chat, get it in. Who you are hoping we're going to draw? We're going to draw one of the teams between Atlanta and Sevilla. Who are you hoping for, Charlie?
I really want Barcelona. I think it is part of what we were just talking about, that sort of once in a lifetime opportunity. Like, I've always wanted to see, like, a Barcelona were the team, like, throughout basically my entire life. When I was young, you had Ronaldinho, you had Eto'o, you had Henry, you had all these incredible players, then you had the secondary team that came through of Iniesta, Xavi, like Neymar was there, PK, Puyol. Like, they have been the team up until like the last 5 years where they've completely flopped it. They have been the team in my lifetime, and the Camp Nou is iconic in my head. And if there's one team I would want to see West Ham face in a proper, honest, competitive fixture, not a preseason friendly, a proper competitive fixture, it would be Barcelona. And to be honest with you, I said this to you last night, I low-key think we've got a chance against them. Stylistically, I think they suit us. they're going to want to control this. They're going to want to step to us. They're going to want to be in attacking sort of areas constantly, and that suits our counter-attacking style. So I'm going to say, it's mad to say it, but I am going to say Barcelona.
It's the glamour tie, isn't it? It's the big glamour tie name. I still want Rangers. I'm aware people think, oh, it's because you're Scottish. There's maybe is an element of that, but I just think the atmosphere would be incredible between Rangers and West Ham. I know it would get labelled up as the Battle of Britain and stuff, but I'll tell you, well, what, it would be the atmosphere of Britain for those 2 nights. It would just be unbelievable. And I think I look at it and I think if there's a team I want, if it's not Rangers, it's probably Braga. I won't lie. I think they're probably the easiest side left in the competition. I don't want Real Betis, putting that out there now. I do not want to play Real Betis. I think I can already see what's going to happen, and that is Pellegrini beating David Moyes, and they're flying at the minute, Real Betis. It's not like we're taking a team that's qualifying and they're doing average in the domestic league the following season. They're not. They're sitting in the top 3 of the La Liga. They're above Barcelona. I think they've won 9 out of their last 10 or something, including last night. It's just, no. I do not want Real Betis, Charlie. But Rangers for me would just be a story. And we should beat them. On paper, we should beat Rangers. But as we've seen with them play Dortmund, it's a bit of a leveler, this. It's sort of like 2 finals to some extent. And I'd imagine, I don't know, but I'd imagine if I was a Rangers fan, I'd be wanting West Ham or Barcelona for this draw. I'd be thinking, right, let's have the big one or the English one, and let's have it off. What you click on?
No, the stream has begun on the Europa League website, so I was just making sure.
Okay, I'll turn it on in a minute.
But yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, watching the match last night with Rangers, that atmosphere was insane. And it served, I think, Rangers a lot, because even when they went down, and it seemed like actually Dortmund could potentially do it, that atmosphere just kept going, and it was. There were times when it got to the end in stoppage time, and it's one of those grounds because it's an older ground, so everything's sort of cobbled together a little bit, and you love to see it. When it was in stoppage time, it was 2-2. It was clear they've done it. There's very, very little chance Dortmund are going to score 2 in stoppage time. And everyone was just bouncing. The whole place was jumping in unison. And the main camera, the wide angle lens, was just all over the shop. It was, honestly, it served as it felt like a European night, to use that phrase. It really did. And so the idea of seeing West Ham in that, I mean, is obviously tantalizing. But like you say, Braga are probably the easiest team left in this. And you'd want, in a Kidderminster style way, you wouldn't complain if Braga came out the hat for West Ham.
Let's see what the live chat are saying. Well, I assume they're just chatting on the draw at the minute. We've got Devin and Dave says, Barcelona, please. Sarah Alpha, he thinks Rangers, but he fancies Atalanta. Ben wants to avoid Sevilla, while Finn is saying it'll be Spain without the S if we get Barcelona now. Cameron lives in Glasgow, so he really wants Rangers. Ralph wants anywhere near Alicante in Spain so he can get to the game. I want Barcelona. Martin Noble coming off the bench and scoring a winner at the new camp. Thank you very much.
Kiri.
Betis or Barca. Porto or Atalanta. Europe would love Real Betis as well to show how far we've come since 2019. Joe wants Barca, while Sharky says Braga would be a good tie, but Mick is wanting Rangers. Frank says Barcelona. Why? Because if we win, it gives us a great boost. And we all know we need a shock to break this poor form we are in. Rangers, Real Betis, Rangers, Barca or Rangers. Boxing Observer says there's no easy draw, all are tough. I take Barca away though. We could actually win that, and what a day out it would be. Barca. Real Betis or Barca. Porto, Betis. Same comment. You want Martin Noble scoring. Betis again. James says we're not beating anyone, so give us Barcelona. A lot of Barca love in the live chat, understandably. Clayton says, let's get through this round and get Barca in the semi or final. See, that's my thinking. I think we'd eventually get Barcelona. I'd imagine whoever Barca draw. Because if you look at our side of the draw, that's where the lesser teams probably are, actually. You can see it scrolling along your bottom of the screen in just a minute. When you look at the teams that Barca could face, there's probably a few in there that you'd look at, you think, oh, I fancy that actually a little bit. Let's just get it up on the screen. Here you are. So you look at the seeded teams there. Sparta Moscow, Galatasaray, Monaco, Frankfurt. You'd imagine Barca be looking at that lot, thinking, yeah, we can beat most of them. So I'm quite confident Barca will be in the next round beyond this one. They'll be in the quarterfinals and stuff. So for that reason, I wouldn't mind it. Mitchell says, to flip it round, I don't think there's anyone who likes to face Barca. I'll tell you what, sometimes some mad things happen. There's some things just happen, you think, I had that moment today. So Barcelona, the official Twitter put up their graphic of the Europa League draw. And I was reading it and clicking on translate tweet. They don't want West Ham. The Barcelona fans genuinely don't want West Ham.
Why would they, Geo? We're massive. Come on now.
They're saying they basically want to avoid us and Lyon. That's the two they're picking out. That's the two they're saying. Not them, please. Anyone else?
They've seen what Craig Dawson did to Che Adams at one time, and they're not keen. I'll tell you that much. They're not keen. Just to let you know, the draw is starting, so you probably want to put it up on your device.
Get it up.
We'll see how in sync we are. The beauty of these systems is there's always some sort of iffiness. Do you want to announce the home teams and or the first team, and I'll announce the second? Maybe I don't know how they're going to draw it. You were explaining how they draw it to me before, and I'm
half tempted to say I'll take the unseeded lot because I don't know how you pronounce that name in the seeded group.
Oh, okay. It's Red Star. It's Red Star Belgrade. I don't know how to pronounce their proper name, but I believe that is Red Star Belgrade.
I want you to pronounce it.
All right, here we go. That team from Red Star Belgrade is Krenvzvezda. I, Geo, am a cultured individual. Clearly, I can do that kind of thing.
Happy days, right? Well, saying if we can beat Wolves, I can see a turnaround. We need that for our confidence.
But yeah, you can take unseeded. I'll take seeded then, and I'll deliver the name with confidence. Come on, Europa League draw, Geo. It's here, the round of 16.
To be fair, mate, if you're that far ahead of me on the stream, you can just read it all out, and I'll react to whatever you're saying.
Well, all right, what are you seeing right now?
Him.
I don't know who's ahead. That guy is having a little talk right now.
He does chat too much, though, doesn't he? Just get on with it.
Is there anyone you would be disappointed by?
No, that's the good thing about this. I was looking at last night, and while I want Braga, I don't want Real Betis, but fine, whatever. Let me just close the curtain a bit. I'm getting blinded here. The sun is out. Okay, I've got some funky music going on. It's showing me all the highlights from Sevilla legend.
Yeah, he's going to do the draw, I assume, as well, Pollock.
No, but I don't think Leipzig doesn't have the sex appeal it did a couple of seasons ago for some reason. I don't think they've got that X factor. Porto would be nice. Tony Martinez rocking up at the London Stadium. We're finally going to see Tony Martinez playing at the London Stadium. I think Sevilla is one of those. It's like they've just got far too much European experience and victories. I think they're a cultured Europa League side, aren't they? So I think they would do us in terms of tactics and experience. Sevilla's the one I wouldn't fancy, probably.
Fair. I would literally be happy with any of them. I mean, it's one of those ones where it is European football. We're here. It's exciting.
This is exciting, isn't it?
It is.
This is. I am generally like kid at Christmas type stuff. This running around the house this morning, like, look who might guess. Piss off! You showed me last night. Yeah, but Luke, do you not understand?
I did have to. I was sitting here watching the Rangers match yesterday, and my girlfriend was over there playing PlayStation, and I did have to try to explain to her just how crazy it is that Rangers were beating Dortmund because she couldn't care less. And I'm like, it's trust me, this is a big deal. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Sky Sports News this morning. I'm standing up in front of the sofa, pointing at the telly as if it's 50 inches. It's not that she can't see it. I'm like, look who we might get. She's like, yes, I'm aware of that. Sit down, eat your frosted shreddies like a good boy. The Europa League draws at 11. Whether you've ate your frosted shreddies or not, now just sit down and eat them. Stop spitting frosted shreddies across the room because you see the Barcelona badge come up on the screen now and again. But
it's the vibe, man.
Hang on, let me defend this. Let me defend this. I don't like Christmas, but as a child, I did. I said it feels like being a child at Christmas. I used to like Christmas as a kid. I wasn't 6 years old sitting there like, Mother, I don't like your politics beyond Christmas Day. I think I'm not going to participate. No. But I was 6 and 7. I was like, get that Santa present in here now. What has Santa bought me? It wasn't until I was a bit older. I was a bit like...
What age did you reckon did it end for you? Did the
15,
magic die?
16. 15, 16. It was when there's a massive correlation between Christmas, the magic of Christmas ending for my parents, because we were a bit too grown up now. We knew Santa.
Sure.
Questionable. There might be kids.
Yeah.
There may be kids tuning in.
I mean, that sounds worse than what you could have said. I can't lie to you. Carry on.
Maybe kids tuning in. But as it gets older, Santa brings you one big gift rather than 4 little ones. So I think for my parents, it was gone. So I think they gave up with it as well. So anyway, they're still chatting. Yeah, they've got the pot. I was trying to tell Charlie how they did it, how I thought they did it. So there's no numbers for this. I think what they do, they've got a bowl and in that bowl, they'll have 16 bowls essentially. And each bowl represents a club. So there'll be 8 balls in there. And if you open up the ball, they'll have the ticket. So there should be a West Ham bowl with 8 balls in it. And every ball has a ticket that says West Ham ENG that they'll unravel. And so when they'll do one team and they'll say, right, okay, let's find out who's going to be playing Barcelona. They'll pick out a ball from each pot that can play Barcelona. And the reason they do this is so that the Germans don't draw the Germans. I think that's the only collision we have, don't we?
Yeah. Germans don't draw the Germans, and obviously seeded have to face unseeded, and that's it at this stage, I believe.
Oh, here we go. It's getting underway. I would love Rod Stewart to be there. Do you remember it?
Yeah. Yeah, so you do seeded and I'll do unseeded. I'll do unseeded and I'll commit. So I'll do seeded, you do unseeded, yeah.
Yes. Here we go.
Come on. We'll now see truly where the lag is. It's starting right now, ladies and gentlemen. So we have the teams rolling across the bottom of your screen. West Ham, from a West Ham perspective, will have to draw one of the unseeded sides. They cannot draw one of the seeded ones, which means Barcelona is possible. We'll a little bit after it. We'll have a little conversation after it as well. So see how we all vibe. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I am nervous.
You know it's a big deal because there is a man in a tie explaining to us some laws and regulations. That's how you know it's a big deal. He's saying some stuff that I'm not interested in. Let's just get to the balls, mate. Let's just get to the balls. You know what I mean? Last couple of people, I want Rangers. Come on, Barca. It's just the hype. The hype.
Right, come on, Rangers. He's just explaining the dates on my stream at the minute.
He's saying something about Braga to me. I'm not sure what.
God, I'm nervous.
Balls, Sinos. Come on. Balls. Balls out. Come on.
I can't sit still. I wanna walk about, but I can't. I'm stuck in front of the camera. I'm almost going to be the train guy. I'm just going to attach a GoPro here, just walk around the house. Who we got?
That would be an unreal.
West Ham's just come out. We got Barcelona.
Fall over in your chair. That'd be beautiful.
Right, anyway, see what the draw's done to me. It's made me crazy.
Oh,
here we go. Now we're ready.
Can you just show your screen again to me, just quickly? Show your screen just quickly to me again. Your screen. Okay, which is that the playoff winners? Yeah. Okay, you're ever so slightly behind. So it's good that I'm taking seeded because I assume they come out first. Right. Come on. Oh, he just said West Ham United. It's weird. Here we go. The first name is being drawn out from the unseeded side. Geo, who is it?
I know who it is. A live chat told me.
Oh, yeah, just ignore the live chat for a second, probably. We might have to ignore the live chat for this moment. We'll come back to you after,
just read everything out. You read everything out. We're all right.
Okay, Rangers are out of the pot first. Rangers. I'm ignoring the chat, so I won't be able to see it. Rangers will be going up against one of the seeded sides. I'm loving this. There's a lot of admin with this draw, Geo, and I can't lie to you. I both hate it and love it. I love a bit of admin. I do. Oh, I see how they do it now. That's actually okay. That actually makes kind of sense. That's quite smart. Rangers will go up against. Pollop opens the ball. You love to see it. Krenva Zvezda. Red Star Belgrade. It is Rangers versus Red Star. Nice work. We make like a permanent one to scroll on the bottom after as well.
Charlie, that's sad. I was hoping for Rangers. That's a bit annoying. Yeah. It's the first one as well. Do you know what I mean? And my excitement's lowered a little bit already. I'm already a little bit gutted, but
I don't know. I'm kind of okay with that. Next team out the pot is Braga.
Braga. Who's Braga playing? Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be the.
I mean, from a Rangers perspective, that's probably quite good for Rangers.
It would kill the watch along, though. I mean, the watch along's over after the second draw, but
yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, if anything, just let's string this out longer. Of course, they went through penalties last night. I was watching Rangers, so they started speaking about it after. That's how I saw bits of it. Braga up against Monaco. AS Monaco. French, Southern France, potentially their own. It's a principality, however you want to call it. AS Monaco, Braga. It's a very European draw, that one. It's a very Portugal versus France. It feels very European, that one. Don't know why.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
FC Porto are the next team out of the pot for the unseeded sides. Yeah, nice.
I didn't mean to do that.
Maybe make it a ticker one as well.
I was trying to do that, Charlie, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. That's what I was trying to do. Trying to turn into a ticker.
Porto.
They are. Look at that.
Look at that. Techers. Porto out of the hat. They have Tony Martinez. Will he be facing his old team, West Ham United, in the next round? Does it with a point to prove? Oh, it's Olympic Lyon. It's Lyon. Porto versus Lyon. Another very European tie.
I like that. That's a good tie.
I like that one as well.
That's a good one. That gets rid of a good team there. One of those teams are out. That's a good team getting knocked out there. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, same. That's a decent tie. That's a decent tie for us. It's also, I like two badges that are quite cool. Two titans of the European game. Atalanta are the next one out. Atalanta have had a good sort of last 5-6 years, slowly building. Duvan Zapata doing bits for them over that time. Got to the stage where they're consistent European contenders. Not super keen on their badge. Never have been. Bit of a weird shape, but we move. For thumbnails, not useful. I'll tell you that from my perspective. From someone who makes thumbnails, not the most useful badge. The over, you know, I respect something different. It's frustrating for me specifically. Bayern 04 Leverkusen. Atalanta versus Bayer Leverkusen. Another odd-shaped badge. That one has.
That's another good team. Another good team going out in that tie, though. I'm happy with that. We can still get real Betis, and the Barcelona dream is still on. The Barcelona dream, Charlie, is still on.
It is. Sevilla have been drawn out next. I'm enjoying the way they on the desk. I don't know if you've seen this, Jim. On the desk, when he draws out the team, they have a little hole that he just puts stuff in, which is quite fun. Just a little disposable bin for balls. You know what I mean? Never used probably in any other scenario at all. Sevilla against the seeded side of Paulo opens the ball, gets the little thing out. Oh, it's West Ham United.
No!
Sevilla versus West Ham United.
Ow!
You said you literally mentioned it before. What would you know? And there it is. Sevilla, Europa League specialists. Barcelona have come out of the hat. We'll do the rest for posterity. Barcelona are out of the hat next. Sevilla, Geo. Sevilla.
Yeah, that's the one team I could have done without us getting, to be honest with you. I actually think it's the hardest draw. I know Barcelona's in there, but I don't know why. I just think we would have raised our game a bit more for Barcelona than Sevilla. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh and disrespectful to Sevilla there, but
yeah,
I feel like Barcelona would have had a cup final feel about it, and a bit like what us and Rangers would have been for Rangers. I think it would have been a bit of a leveler on their half between us and Barca. I think it'd been a bit of a leveler on our behalf. With Sevilla, I don't know. They're just the Europa League experts, aren't they? They're like the cultured Europa League team.
Barcelona have drawn Galatasaray in another feisty fixture. Galatasaray was another one where I was like flipping it.
Every game sounds like a classic European game, except Sevilla against West Ham, and I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
And then finally, the last draw, of course, Frankfurt versus Spartak Moscow. Oh, sorry, no, Leipzig versus Spartak Moscow. I thought it was the last one. My maths is wrong.
Do you know where Sevilla are in the league? I was just thinking, I don't know where they are in the league, actually, so I went and had a look. Do you know where they are?
I feel like they're... for some reason, in my head, I have them down as 5th.
They're 2nd.
Oh, they jumped... Oh, they were the team who was 2nd. Okay, I knew there was someone wild in 2nd place. I wasn't sure who.
Yeah. Is Martial eligible for this tournament? Yeah, he will be because Man U were Champions League, so I'd imagine it's okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Betis draw Frankfurt in the battle of the West Ham adjacent sides. Betis draw Frankfurt. So that ends up the draw. Going through it once more, we have Rangers versus Red Star, Braga versus Monaco, Porto versus Lyon, Atalanta versus Bayer Leverkusen, Sevilla versus West Ham, Barcelona versus Galatasaray, Leipzig versus Moscow, Spartak, and Real Betis versus Eintracht Frankfurt. Geo, you know, it's a thing. It's a thing. It's official. It's gone ahead. That's life now. I to be honest with you, like you say, it's probably not ideal. It's not the ideal one by any stretch of imagination, but I can't act like I'm still not. There's something there. Like they are probably a difficult side. I don't think. Last time I saw Sevilla, I'm not sure how they play now. I haven't seen this season. I don't even know if it's on last season, but that they were sort of a semi-counter-attacking side. They're not going to try and step to you too much. That doesn't suit us either. But it is at some point you are, I guess, if we're looking at it in terms of holistically in a tournament sense, at some point you're going to have to go up against the likes of Sevilla and take them down. And it does have that sense of being doable. I would be concerned maybe if we went up against a Barcelona that there would be something in the back of, I don't know, either Moyes or the player's mind where you just go, do we, like, what have we got here? What have we got here? Whereas this feels like it could always be a sort of just ever so slightly one step away from being doable. I don't know. I like it. It's not ideal by any stretch of imagination. Like you say, it might have been one of the worst ones to get. But
do you know what though? It's the last 16 Europa League. It's a tremendous achievement for us to get here so far. Yeah. We were always going to play a big team. I mean, even if you look at the other ones that we didn't get, it's the one I wanted to avoid. But you could probably make a case for it being a difficult fixture regardless of who we got. We've got Leipzig, would be like, oh, and Kunku, and you got Barcelona for obvious reasons. You downgrade it. So it's easy to be pessimistic, but it's going to be so exciting. You know, the game at home at London Stadium on the 17th of March, the place will be absolutely rocking. We play away first, so we can get a draw there and take it back to the London Stadium. Or even if we're a goal down, it's not ideal, but the atmosphere would be intense at London Stadium, and the place would be everyone would be behind the boys. It'd be a fantastic game to go to. I'm thoroughly looking forward to going. I'm expecting one of the best atmospheres I've experienced at a West Ham game. Those going to their away game, what a city to visit. You know, the day out will be fantastic. The game itself will be brilliant as well. So for those that are eligible for tickets as well, what a trip this is for them. And it's what football's about for me. It's about emotions and memories, and we're going to make one over the 2 legs. We're going to make a fantastic memory. We don't know if we'll have European football next season, so I think it's very much we've entered this season with enjoy it while it lasts mentality. And why not? You know, savor it, enjoy it. And hopefully we'll be in it next year. We don't know. We don't know when it'll come around again. So what a tie it's going to be. Hopefully in a few years to come, or when we've got little Charlies running around, you'll be telling your little son, your little children, or your little grandchildren eventually. I remember when we beat Sevilla in 2022. You just never know, do you? Just quickly, what we'll just point out on this one. We've got Jamie's asking, not being a season ticket holder, can we get tickets to the away game? I'd imagine it'll be difficult. I don't know what the allocation is. I don't know what it's like in Italy. I assume it's back to full attendance. I know Germany's got some restrictions, and Italy have got some restrictions, but I'm not aware of Spain having any. So I'd imagine it'll be full attendance, which Sevilla's got a big ground, 42,500, I think Sevilla's got off the top of my head in terms of capacity. So you're probably looking at 3,000, 2,500, 3,000 tickets, maybe. You might get, not everybody will make the trip, especially with just 2 weeks' notice and stuff like that. So you might be able to get one. I'm not too sure. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be hopeful if I didn't have a season ticket. Even with my point allocation, I don't have loads of points. Wouldn't be very hopeful of getting a ticket for it. But Clayton says, we're West Ham. Hopefully the boys can find some form. Don't have to rely on Moyes and his selection of tactics. Finn is saying that Leicester beat Sevilla over 2 legs a few years back.
True. I think there's also the argument, by the way, to say that there's also the argument to be said that Sevilla are doing incredibly well in the Liga. You've just said they might not put as much focus on this as they usually would. The thing is with Sevilla being the specialist of this tournament, of course, is that it was always a way to get into Champions League. And back in those days, you had the dominance in Spain of Barca, Real Madrid, and Atletico. And so if they are second and they're doing really well, and let's be honest, I've seen Barcelona play this season, and Barcelona, they're good. They have a smattering of great players, but they've also got a smattering of very average players. Other teams aren't doing as well as around them. All of a sudden, there could be an argument to be said, if you're Sevilla, maybe you put all of your eggs in the league basket as opposed to trying to spread it out. Don't get me wrong, they'll see this as a winnable fixture to some extent, but they'll also probably be like you say, when you looked at the Barcelona post, of people going, I don't really want to face West Ham. And I think there's the more I think about it, Geo, the more I think there's a chance. The more I think about it, the more I think there's a chance.
Just to confirm, their away game, some people asking, their away game is on the 10th. It would have only been Wednesday the 9th if we played Real Betis. Sevilla takes priority over Real Betis, so they get to kick off on the Thursday, and it's Real Betis's game that gets moved to the Wednesday. But Charlie, Sevilla in the Europa League. We'll start wrapping this up in a couple of minutes, Charlie. But what's your thoughts on the draw? What's your final thoughts? Give me your thinkings.
I'm just excited, man. Like, it's rounds of 16. We're one tie away from being in the quarterfinals. That's how well this has gone for us, you know. I think it's far from ideal, and having seen the sort of fixtures around this tie, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. We have some big games in that space. But to be honest with you, I look at this and I think this is kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity in some aspects. Obviously, we would hope that we can get better and it doesn't become a once in a lifetime opportunity. And don't get me wrong, we've existed to some extent in the Europa League ecosystem against Astra Gija and all that. But seeing us go up against teams like this is a huge opportunity. It's a huge opportunity, and it's a huge moment for us as fans because we don't get to do it often. The away fans are going to have a great trip, but also everyone watching gets to say they've seen West Ham playing the Europa League. And like I say, as much as it's probably one of the worst fixtures, at least in terms of reputation, it's probably one of the most winnable ones. It's not by any stretch of imagination. It's going to be a difficult tie, but there is at least an easy team talk for David Moyes to say here. You go out, you prove to Europe, this team who are one of the Europa League specialists are doing so well. You go out, you perform against them, you prove to everyone that you deserve to be here, that you can be there, and all of a sudden we're in the quarterfinals. We're in the quarterfinals, and like you say, the rest of the draw's gone fairly decent to the extent where there are going to be some big teams dropping out of it. And it gives it this whole dude. I'm here for it, Geo. Arsenal fans complain about Thursday nights all this time. They're great. I don't know what they mean. Don't know what they've been complaining about. I think they're excellent.
And Jamie says, bloody girlfriend's birthday that day. Advice on how to watch the game and celebrate her birthday. Well, it sounds like she wants a trip to Sevilla for her birthday, mate. You want to take her over there the night before, get a nice hotel for a couple of nights. And then during the day, you take her out somewhere nice for a bit of lunch or whatever. And then evening, West Ham time, you take her to the games. So sorry, love.
I'm enjoying the amount of people in the chat who've just gone, dump her. Just ruthless. No shame whatsoever.
No, Sevilla's not the favourites. Barcelona are. However, Sevilla are the second favourites. Prior to the draw, it might change now that the draw has been done. But certainly prior to the draw, Sevilla were the second favourites to go on. But what I will say is if we do win this tie, if we do beat Sevilla, I think we instantly become at least second favourites behind Barcelona to go on and win it, because we've just put out one of the best teams in the competition. We've got 2 or 3 league games. We've got the cup game as well against Southampton, the FA Cup. The way I see it, Charlie, is we've almost got 2 league games and the FA Cup to get ready for the Sevilla game. That takes priority. I'd almost want to see us rest our team the games before, and certainly the game in between. I think it might be Aston Villa, the game in between the 2 Sevilla ones. I almost don't want to see a full rotation to some extent. We'll deal with it in the previews and stuff, but as it stands, I want these Europa League games to take priority to make sure that Antonio is well rested up. He's out of form at the minute, but you've got to give him the best chance of doing something, and that's to make sure he's looked after, rested. We know who we've got now. We've got 2 weeks to get ready for it. The team's got Moyes' team, that is, has got to get his stuff done, his research done, his scouting done, get ready for playing Sevilla, work out a way of beating them. And then, the boys, like the girls, will go out there on the 10th, will love it, and then we take it back to London Stadium on the 17th. And as long as it's winnable, also what's massively important this year, there's no away goal ruling, which I think gives the second tie home advantage much, much greater than previous years, because sometimes you'd have that second game at home, but maybe you've scored an away goal, so you're a bit cautious, you're playing defensive, you don't want to concede that away goal. Well, there's that fear's gone now. We can go to Sevilla and play for a 0-0. There's no pressure on us to go to Sevilla and get that away goal like there has been in the past. We don't need to. If we can get a draw, regardless of the score, get a draw, take it back to the London Stadium, I think it's game on. It becomes like a final to some extent, with West Ham fans having 95% capacity. Would be ridiculous. What an occasion this is going to be on the 17th of March. West Ham hosting Sevilla, Europa League experts, if you like, at the London Stadium. Martin Noble's final season.
I mean, you know how there's that thing, like, you know how David Moyes likes to see players before he signs them and everything else? He can finally have no more excuses. He will definitely see Yusuf En-Nesyri. We will finally get our answer, Gio. Will we want him or not? There's no more excuses. We're about to face him twice. We're going to have seen him. We might at least finally have an answer on that one. See, it's all looking up. It's all looking up. Come on.
As a Barca fan, I'm glad we didn't get West Ham or Lyon, so we can rest our players against Galatasaray. And Hammer said Hammer's BFX is saying he's looking at Sevilla's Twitter, and they're saying they're not playing too well at the minute. The Sevilla fans. Anyway, anything you'd like to add, Charlie, before we disappear?
Excited. I'm just excited. I think I probably would have been excited for every drew, but it has not diminished whatsoever. Big plays incoming, big dubs. Let's go. March 10th. I cannot wait. We'll be streaming it live on this channel. So if you haven't already, subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff, and hit the bell notification, because we'll be doing a watch along, watching the boys, watching Craig Dawson just dismantle En-Nesyri before our very eyes. It's going to be amazing. Come get involved.
Can't wait. So there you have it. West Ham have been drawn against Sevilla. First game on 10th March, second game on the 17th of March. But before that, we do play Wolves in the Premier League. So later today, we'll be back down to earth with a bump where we have our preview up of the Wolves West Ham game on Sunday. So, yes, thank you for joining us on the stream. Drop a like on it. As Charlie said, subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. Myself and Gonzo will catch you later. And Charlie, he'll catch you on Sunday with the watch along for the Wolves game. So pop back then. Catch you in a bit.